Have you ever wondered why hits like Stranger Things capture the zeitgeist while infinite other shows fade away? Or how artists like Bad Bunny dominate the charts year after year as independent musicians chip at major label power? Digitization has simultaneously unleashed entertainment abundance and concentration of success over the past 20 years. Anyone can produce studio-quality work from home and reach a global fans. Yet paradoxically, we see lopsided, unpredictable hits more than ever before. In this deep dive, we'll unpack why digitization fragments and consolidates influence across media's competitive landscape. By the end, you'll grasp how creator opportunities have never been bigger while risks grow more extreme. So buckle up as we examine the past, present, and future of entertainment shaped by this defining transformation. Digitization, the Big Bang moment. Everything we'll be discussing traces back to one catalyzing event, the digitization of media in the 1980s. This marks the Big Bang moment that kickstarted the media revolution still unfolding today. Prior to digitization, formats like music, film, and text were analog. Sound was stored on records as continuous waveforms etched into vinyl. Images were captured on celluloid prints with gradient color tones. Media was restricted to physical packaging, whether cassette tapes, movie reels, or print magazines. By converting analog signals into discrete digital data, formats like the CD and JPEG established bits and bytes as the universal language for all media. This birthed a common foundation for how all creative content could be produced, manipulated, and transported. Combined with broadband infrastructure and device advancements, reducing distribution to virtually free, digitization GROkified media innovation. Whether iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, or TikTok, the digital unification of text, audio, and video unlocked endless creativity. Fragmentation Part 1: Demolishing Barriers. The first core trend born from digitization is fragmentation, the explosion of content splintering consumer attention across entertainment and information. Today, we have effectively infinite choice across songs, shows, posts, and beyond. This is driven by collapsing barriers across the entire creative development pipeline. Costs for production, marketing, distribution, and audience monetization have drastically reduced over the past 20 years. For distribution, physical replication, and delivery costs have declined to zero thanks to streaming. Digital tools like CapCut and Spotify for artists fuel production. Building passionate fan bases is now possible before securing $1 of external funding. The data illustrates the diametric shift from scarcity to endless abundance. YouTube leapt from 8 hours of video uploaded per minute to over 500 hours today. Netflix soared from less than 1,000 shows and movies on the service to over 5,000 as of last year. Games released annually on Steam rocketed from under 200 to over 14,000. Fragmentation Part 2: Fluid definitions of quality. The content explosion is only half the story. After all, just because someone filmed their cat and uploaded it doesn't mean anyone will watch it. This is where the second driver comes in, evolving consumer notions of quality. When platforms introduce attributes we value, it changes purchasing decisions. A generation raised on the authenticity of YouTube stars rates polish and budget secondarily. TikTok skews raw, unfiltered, accurate to someone's innate personality and humor. Instagram and Snapchat reward intimacy and community access. Each platform environment births differentiated definitions of creative excellence. Rather than absolute standards, quality is a fluid algorithm balancing trade-offs. When new entrants tap unmet needs not previously considered, it reorients audience expectations. So when faced with exponentially more choice, consumers fractally scatter attention based on personal taste and social context. Hits rise to cut through infinite noise. Fragmentation, Part 3: Measuring the Explosion. The results reveal just how drastically digitization has fragmented entertainment. Stepping back, higher-level media consumption patterns paint one picture. According to Nielsen, adults in the US spend roughly 40% of their media hours with video, 25% on audio, 25% gaming and social media, and 10% other mediums like reading. Zoom into formats, though, and seismic fragmentation emerges. Streaming ballooned from zero to account for 36% of TV viewing time in just 4 years. YouTube alone comprises nearly 1 in 4 streaming hours. Short-form video skyrocketed from nearly nil to approximately 25% of total adult video time since 2018. In other words, nearly all the recent growth in video engagement is from fragmentation, not expanding the overall pie meaningfully. The trajectory continues exponentially across music and gaming, too. Mobile gaming grew from rounding error to around half of global revenue as solo side-scrollers gained appeal. Independent artists now consistently gain more stream share versus labels year after year. Concentration. Yet at the same time, competitive dynamics bifurcate. Consolidated star power and hits not only endure, but concentrate value exponentially. As the long tail gets longer, hits become ever more unpredictable, yet increasingly vital, channeling mass attention. Think Encanto, Stranger Things, Season 4, and Apex Legends dominating cultural chatter despite infinite choice. Platforms concentrate exponential power too in this world of fragmented content and concentrated audiences. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, Spotify, and Steam command priority from fans while aggregating historic data advantages. Creators and artists partner with platforms to tap these pre-existing network effects. Rather than build standalone apps and sites from scratch again, they plug into the networks we already spend our days in. Disintermediation. Next up, we have disintermediation radically shifting influence across the media value chain. This complex web of content creators, production outfits, publishers, distributors, advertisers, and audiences mediated value historically. Gatekeepers and middlemen bundled access across this chain. As legacy roles crumble, bargaining power concentrates to the ends, platforms and creators. Streaming services commission artists directly for exclusive tracks and shows. YouTubers and TikTokers reimagine genre constraints. Value shifts away from those in the middle. The next generation of artists might find fame directly releasing songs on SoundCloud and Spotify without ever signing traditional record deals. Netflix negotiated directly with showrunners versus channels. Disney commissioned directors rather than theatrical studios. Virtualization. The final pillar we'll be exploring is virtualization, the convergence of physical and virtual worlds into overlapping lived experiences. Whether augmented reality layers, digital goods integrated into physical environments, or virtual interactions synthesized digitally, more facets bridge atoms and bits. Think Pokemon Go, special access NFTs, spatial audio chat rooms, VR gaming, and everything Web3. As metaverse manifests, interactions once bounded by distance collapse. Holographic concerts immerse us inside the event light years away. It further erodes geographic competitive moats even in live entertainment. When creators can teleport their performances globally at digital fidelity and cost, audience share fractures exponentially across the long tail. Conclusion. Fragmentation, disintermediation, concentration, and virtualization represent the epic forces conspiring to radically reshape entertainment, media, and information. Everything covered today expands on the proliferation of access and choice initiated by digitization. The implications for incumbent leaders depend enormously on the nuances we discussed across changing consumer behavior, platform incentives, infrastructure upgrades, and technology disruption over the horizon. Do us a favor and please hit subscribe. And maybe even tell a friend. Now let's keep the discussion going, taking a look at